The world had changed drastically ever since the outbreak of the zombie apocalypse. The once bustling city streets were now filled with the moans and groans of the undead, and the smell of death lingered in the air. But amidst the chaos, there was one person who was determined to survive: Claire. Claire had been living in the city for as long as she could remember. She had grown up in the suburbs, went to school in the city, and even landed her dream job in the heart of downtown. But when the virus hit, everything she had known and loved was torn apart. Her family had been taken by the zombies, and she was left to fend for herself. As she sat in her makeshift shelter, Claire could hear the faint sound of explosions in the distance. The government had resorted to nuking the infected cities in hopes of containing the virus. Claire knew that her time was running out, and she needed to get out of the city before it was too late. She had been holed up in an abandoned auto repair shop for the past few days, scavenging for supplies and trying to fix up an old truck that she found. It was her only hope of escaping the city and finding a safe place to start over. But the truck was in a sorry state. The engine was barely running, and the tires were flat. Claire knew that she had to fix the truck if she wanted to have any chance of survival. She rummaged through the shop, gathering tools and spare parts, and began working on the engine. As she tinkered with the truck, she couldn't help but talk to herself, trying to keep her mind off the impending danger. "Come on, baby, work with me here," she muttered as she tightened a bolt. "I can't believe this is happening. I always thought zombies were just a thing in movies," she continued, wiping sweat off her forehead. After what felt like hours, Claire finally managed to get the engine running. She let out a triumphant whoop and did a little victory dance. But her celebration was cut short when she heard the sound of the nukes getting closer. "Holy shiitake mushrooms, they're really nuking the city," she exclaimed, quickly grabbing her bag and jumping into the truck. She slammed on the gas pedal, and the truck roared to life, the tires screeching as she sped out of the shop. As she drove through the city, dodging abandoned cars and swerving around zombies, Claire couldn't help but think about how different things used to be. She remembered the days when she would complain about traffic, and now she would give anything to be stuck in rush hour. "Ha, who's laughing now, rush hour? I'm driving like a bat out of hell to save my own ass," she chuckled to herself. But her joy was short-lived as she reached the edge of the city and saw the mushroom cloud in the distance. The nukes had been dropped and the city was being destroyed. Claire's heart sank as she realized that she was now driving towards a wasteland. But she didn't have time to dwell on it. She had to keep moving if she wanted to survive. The truck was starting to sputter, and Claire knew she needed to find a place to rest and fix it before it completely broke down. She drove for hours, the sun setting in the distance, before finally coming across a small town. It seemed untouched by the apocalypse, and Claire couldn't believe her luck. She parked the truck in front of an old gas station and quickly got to work on the engine. "Please, please, please work," she pleaded as she tried to fix a leak. To her relief, the truck finally started up again. She let out a sigh of relief and decided to spend the night in the gas station. As she settled in for the night, she couldn't help but think about how lucky she was to have made it this far. The next morning, Claire woke up to the sound of a car pulling up outside. She cautiously peeked out the window and saw a group of survivors getting out of the car. They seemed friendly enough, and Claire decided to approach them. "Hey there, I'm Claire," she said, trying to sound friendly. The group introduced themselves and explained that they were part of a larger community that had managed to survive the apocalypse. They were on a supply run and were heading back to their community. Claire couldn't believe it. She had finally found a group of people to survive with. As they were about to leave, one of the members of the group asked, "Do you need a ride? We have an extra seat in the car." Claire's heart swelled with gratitude as she accepted their offer. She climbed into the car, leaving the old truck behind, and smiled to herself. She had survived the zombie apocalypse and found a new family in the process. And as they drove out of the town, Claire couldn't help but feel hopeful for the future. Yay, the end. Oh right, yeah, I have to do this stuff now. Like, comment and subscribe. And please watch my other videos and comment ideas on stories.